Hi guys, welcome to Proving the Markets. Today we're going to be talking about gold, see what's happening on gold. In the last 3 weeks, gold has fallen over 13,200 points, which is a massive fall for gold. Now there has been a lot of controversy as to whether gold is now going down or whether we still have more inclination to the upside. And the reason for this is because gold has been bullish all this while, but because of this fall, there seems to have been a change in narrative. Let's see whether that change is valid. If you're new to this channel, subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Now all this while we have been bullish on gold and we can see it right here. Now we'll just zoom in quietly to the current stage of this market and we can see that gold seems to be creating a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly time frame. This is the first clue as to know whether we are now heading down for gold, and this is imprinting very strongly on the monthly time frame. So the thing is, having been bullish all this while, you can see that on no occasion did we spot a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly time frame, but this is the first time we're seeing it after a long while. That is the first hint you get. Now the second hint is in the weekly time frame. Now let's go over to the weekly time frame. So what you saw as a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly time frame is actually a second candlestick reversal pattern on the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we can see this first reversal candle here bearish, the next one was bearish, and the third one was bearish. So when you see 3 candles like this screams 3 black crows. So these are 3 black crows, and the 3 black crows is a bearish reversal pattern. So when you see 3 black crows like this, plus what's on the monthly time frame, we already know that the high time frames print the bias of the overall trend. Now, that is why gold has been bullish, but now we are beginning to see signs both on the monthly and on the weekly that gold is beginning to change its bias. Although we still have this weekly trend line, I must be very frank with you here, although we still have this weekly trend line in place, so you can see this weekly trend line right here. So this is like the inner trend line. So both the inner weekly trend line and the outer trend line are still in place. So technically long term, we are still bullish on gold. However, mid-term, we are beginning to turn bearish. Now let's see whether this bearish downturn is valid and whether we can start finding trading opportunities in the short run. So I'll come over to the daily time frame. I'll just take this off. So you can see in the daily time frame now that this market made this push. So we had this push here. So this makes it a higher high, higher than this high, and then this makes it a higher low, higher than this one. So we are still bullish technically here. Now we failed to make a higher high, higher than this one, and we made a lower high, lower than this one. So when you're now beginning to see a change in market structure like this, you should start thinking otherwise. So if all this while you were in a trade, you should start thinking of locking in your profits and waiting to see what the market will do. Now you can see that gold has fallen down, came back to this level right about here, and then gave off a wick and started reacting here. Now we have seen that gold didn't make a higher high than the previous one, which was about $5,600 per ounce, and it came here instead and began to drop to the downside. Let me point out something quickly here. I came on here and told you guys that I wasn't comfortable with this type of pullback. Now, if you look at this pullback, which I circled here, this is where we took a trade. We took a trade here, and I documented that trade on this channel. We took a trade here because I was comfortable with the way the market structured itself. I took this trade in the lower time frame, and then we rode this trade all the way to the upside. Now, when this reversal as well was happening, I told you guys that I wasn't comfortable with this type of reversal, and I will not be wanting to take trades here.
Now, this retracement which you see here, this pullback is different from this pullback. Now, this pullback is different and it poses a lot more problems on how to get into a continued trade to the upside. Now, why it's different is because of the base. So see the base of this pullback and then check out the base of this pullback. You can see that it doesn't correlate very well and it's difficult to get into trades from here. I know this because I've been trading this market the longest. So even if you come over today for our time frames, you'll see that you can get a good entry point, and don't even goad yourself into thinking that you can trade off these type of setups like this, thinking that it's going to take you all the way to the upside, because let's assume that this market can do this and then the SEC that it's going to come back down. And another thing about gold is that gold currently is overbought. So start expecting more and more retracements to the downside for gold. So gold for now is not giving me the vibes of a good trade or a good setup. I'll be watching it closely to see if we do have a setup for it eventually.
And it did exactly that. You can see now that the market didn't eventually get to a higher high, just like it did get to the previous high in this case and blew past it. Because of that reservation I had about it, the market actually came short of this high and then dropped to the downside. Now, these are hints that you'll be picking up once you are more experienced in this game. I saw this and I just knew that this market is not giving me the clearest signal to want to continue a trend to the upside. And it got to that level and began to drop. Now the market has dropped, has gotten to this level right about here. What exactly is happening on gold? Are we going up or coming down? Now let me say here, now that we failed to make a higher high and this market has changed character, because of it didn't make a high and then came back to the swing we had and created an equal low right about here. The market has now come to a contentious area. I will not be looking to trade gold to either side until any of these criteria happen. First of all, for a bullish inclination, I will only wait for gold to come to this level right about here, break past this level, hold on that level, and once that happens, I will take more trades to the upside. But there's a catch. Before that happens as well, we also have a trend line right about here. So I will go over to the 4-hour time frame so you see this trend line properly. So in the 4-hour time frame, we have this trend line in place here. Now this trend line has seen this go trade to the downside. Now, not only will we have to break above this level, we need to actually clear this trend line before I get into the trade. So I will scratch that until we break past this level and then eventually clear this trend line. Then whenever we have any form of retracement to the downside, I'll be ready to lock in to take this trade continually to the upside. So we actually have to break above here, then break this level. Whenever we do retests here, I'll be ready to take this trade to the upside. And when that happens, I will update you guys. This is the only way I'll be looking for a continued move to the upside on gold. But on the flip side, where we are currently, so I'll go back to the daily time frame, because we have made an equal low here with this one, and this was the level, the supply level that turned into a demand level because the market came here and pushed to the upside, and market has come and reacted nicely around this area. In order to take trades to the downside, I'll only wait for this market to come back and eventually clear this level. Once we clear this level and retest this level and hold, then I'll be ready to take gold trade to the downside. It's at this point that I'll be convinced that gold now wants to go down further, and then I'll be able to take more trades to the downside. So this is the way I'm looking at gold, and these are the two scenarios that can play out. That then just means that anywhere around this region, I will not be trading. So that's my take on gold. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I want to see your comments about how you'll be trading gold. I've got a free masterclass to help you to see how I trade. I've attached the link to the masterclass. It's right at the description of this video. Click on it and join the masterclass. Now, if you want to see more how I swing trade, watch this video right here.